everybody to this demonstration. Shocking news. Cedric, the entertainer, admits to stealing jokes. Tiffany Henyard, how long will she last? Is she ghetto or is she not? We're going to find out exactly what's all the hype around the alleged city mayor, whom we all know as Tiffany Henyard. And also, shocking news. Was Cat Williams telling the truth? Was Cat Williams on point when he said that Cedric, the entertainer, stole his joke? Y'all are going to be shocked. And that's why this is shocking news. Because what y'all are going to hear in this demonstration, you are definitely going to be shocked. But before I get started this demonstration, I want to salute everybody that's catching this on the replay. I want to salute everybody that's watching from the clouds. Those that are listening but are unable to participate in the chat. That's what's considered the clouds. You know, they fall off. They watching and they listening, but they can't participate. So I appreciate everybody that pulls up from the clouds. Salute to all my moderators. I appreciate y'all for pulling up, holding it down. I see you, 80s baby. Salute to 80s baby. 80s baby is she always pulls up to every demonstration. So I got to send a big shout out to 80s baby. Salute Ebet. I want to salute you, him, and her. I want to salute all of my new subscribers. I think in a month time, or it might be a little bit less than a month, we've reached over 1,000 new subscribers. So I appreciate all of the new subbies. Salute to the whole Rock Squad. Now, Cat Williams. Oh, first, let me read my disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Everything that you hear in this demonstration, everything that you hear in this video that I call a demonstration is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Everything that you hear is only allegedly. All of this is allegedly. Now, Cat Williams, what was it? A good 2 months ago, Cat Williams lit social media on fire. He revealed some interesting things. Some people, most people believe what Cat Williams says. Most people do. But then you got some that's, riding the fence. They're unsure, But if Cat Williams is telling the truth, what does that mean? It's an old saying. When I was growing up, the truth shall set you free. Now, I know over the years, we've gotten away from the truth. Don't nobody want to hear the truth no more. Folks would rather for you to tell them a bold-faced lie to make them feel good than for you to tell the truth and upset their comfortability. Most people don't want to hear anything that's going to change their perspective. Most folks don't want to hear nothing that's going to force them to make a change for the better. So we definitely going to be chopping it up about Cedric the Entertainer in these jokes. Salute, Suntan. I see you, Suntan. Salute. It was one particular joke that Cat Williams said that Cedric the Entertainer stole from him. After I done some deep homework, y'all are going to be shocked to know whether or not Cat Williams was telling the truth when he said Cedric stole one of his jokes. Also, the Tiffany Henyard. Now I've been getting DMs for a minute now to cover the alleged city girl mayor, Tiffany Henyard. But I said, I'll wait. I'll give it some time, because even in the very beginning, I felt like this story, the Tiffany Henyard, I felt like it was going to be something that was going to blow up, and it was going to be around for weeks, for months. So I was like, I'll just let it bubble. I'll let it bubble. And then that way, that'll give me time. That'll give me more, to play with. And there's a lot when it comes to Tiffany Henyard. Drop a one if y'all feel as though Tiffany Henyard is ghetto. Drop a 2 if y'all feel like she's not. Salute to True Life. The True Life is another one of my moderators that pulls up on every demonstration. So a big shout out to the Full Life for pulling up on all of the demonstrations. Now, I could tell y'all one thing. A lot of people aren't happy with Tiffany Henyard. A lot of people aren't happy with Tiffany Henyard. Why do y'all think so? Why do y'all think that a lot of people aren't happy with her? Full Life says, I gotta look Tiff up. I missed her. Now, is it strange? And I'm going to be playing devil's advocate. I'm going to be playing both sides, so we can get to the bottom of this. But have y'all noticed that whenever a black person gets in position or gets a position in these cities, these urban cities, particularly the mayor, salute Positive Vibes. Positive Vibes is another one of my moderators that pull up to every demonstration. Appreciate you, Positive Vibes. Ebeck says, have not learned about the case. Okay, so I have a lot to dump on you all, so we're going to be definitely going over it. But why is it? And it can only be one or the other. Why is it when most black men or women become mayors of these predominantly black cities, why is it always some kind of scandal around the mayor? Now, it could either be one or the other. It could either be the establishment, the system doesn't want to see anybody black in these mayor positions to succeed, or, and I want y'all to pay very, very close attention, because over here, we call a spade a spade. No matter if you're white as snow, no matter if you're black as King Kong. Right is right, wrong is wrong. So could it be that the white establishment sets these mayors up for failure or don't want to see these mayors succeed? Or could it be that these mayors, could it be that these black men and black women that become mayors, could it be that they're not fit to be the mayor of these cities? Could it be because just because they're black doesn't necessarily mean that they are good people? Just because they're white, don't necessarily mean they're bad. So what we want to do is we want to call a spade a spade. Now, there have been several mayors. There have been several mayors over the years, black men and black women, that once they became mayors, it was scandals around them. And says they are not fit because they are criminals. In reality, at least Tiffany is. And that's what I want to know. That's what we're going to find out. Because this is me. If you're not fit for the job, you're just not fit for the job. Now, Tiffany, I've been following her. Tiffany, she's straightforward. Tiffany reminds me of Donald Trump. She reminds me of Donald Trump. Like, and it's not to justify any wrongdoings that Tiffany has done. But she kind of like reminds me of Donald Trump. It is what it is. She don't hold no cut cards. You know what you're getting from her. Okay, we're going to tap into it's so much. So let's see where I want to start from. Once again, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Everything that you hear is allegedly.
How did the leader of a small village,
we got our man right here coming from Dome, Illinois,
attract the attention of the entire nation and get nicknamed the worst mayor in America?
Everything she has initiated has been to promote her.
Questionable expenses,
I can map out their entire trip on the township credit card.
expensive police details,
All right. We're going to stay right here for a second. Salute Michelle. Salute Michelle. Salute Tracy. Salute Tracy. We're going to stay right here for a second, y'all.
How did the leader of a small village,
we got our man right here coming from Dome, Illinois,
attract the attention of the entire nation and get nicknamed the worst mayor in America?
Everything she has initiated has been to promote her.
Questionable expenses,
I can map out their entire trip on the township credit card.
expensive police details,
162 hours.
Oh, that's nothing.
and allegations of retaliation.
Did you take that as a threat?
I took that as bullying.
She's not shy about attracting attention
It makes her feel as if she's like a superstar.
until she starts facing questions.
Ask you a few questions. Yes, I'm asking her. We're going to talk.
Now the feds are involved, and another controversial mayor is joining the story.
Now, I want to stop right there, y'all. I want us to stop right there because I have some questions. I do have some questions. Now, also, Tiffany reminds me of Trump, and she also reminds me of Obama. Now, remember when Obama wore the beige suit? Remember Obama wore the beige suit, and the media liked to have a field day on Obama because he had on the beige suits. That's not presidential. That's not traditional. Presidents either wear black suits or blue suits. So you know, I was one of the ones that was like, salute Mel. I see you. Mel is in the bushes. I see you, Mel. I was one of the ones that was, and there was a lot of us that felt like that they were hitting Obama with a low blow. Because the man got on a beige suit, the man got on a brown suit, and the other presidents wore black and blue suits. But y'all gotta admit, Obama looked it good. Obama looked it sharp in that brown suit. Now, when it comes to Trump, the moves that Trump makes, he's not presidential like. He's not acting presidential like. That's the point. Because over the years, the norm, right? The norm wasn't getting it for us. So now, coming to Tiffany, when you look at the mayors, now, it's social media, okay? Social media has brought in a new way of thinking. Social media has brought in a new way of living. And just because a new way of thinking, a new way of living comes into play, that don't mean that the person that's thinking different or new is a bad person. It doesn't mean that they're doing something wrong. Okay, she's have herself on billboards. She's promoting herself. I'm a filmmaker. I'm a producer. I'm a businessman. Every opportunity, and I want everybody to listen to me, every opportunity that you get, you better promote yourself. Because let's face facts. How long is Tiffany going to be the mayor? So Tiffany, maybe she's thinking, maybe Tiffany is playing chess instead of checkers. Maybe she's playing chess instead of checkers. Maybe she's moving 2 steps ahead of her opponents. Maybe Trump has been moving 2 steps ahead of his opponents. We learned from Denzel Washington, along with other folks, it's chess, not checkers. I don't see nothing wrong with her promoting herself. I don't. But who am I? I'm just one person. So I don't see nothing wrong with her promoting herself. Drop a 1 if y'all feel like me. Drop a 1 if y'all feel like there's nothing wrong with her promoting herself on billboards. Drop a 2 if y'all feel like it's something wrong with that. Mel says she doesn't see anything wrong with that. Positive vibes. Ann says, I think they just voted like a temporary mayor. And okay, 80s baby said, don't see nothing wrong with that. Mel says, if she got the money. And one thing that we all know as a fact, everybody thinks different in situations. When it comes to death in the family, everybody handles death differently. And says the thing is she's spending the village's money. Stop right there, okay? Stop right there. Salute Sagittarius, salute Sagittarius. So Ann says she's spending the village's money. And we're going to cover that as well. We're going to cover it as well. Let's go back, y'all. Let's go back.
With this much controversy coming from just one person, we've got to ask, who is Mayor Tiffany Henyard? And what's behind the drama in Dalton?
She cannot continue to intimidate and gangster her way through this.
Welcome, I'm Fox 32's Dane Placco. Tiffany Henyard actually has 2 political jobs on 2 public payrolls. As mayor of South Suburban Dalton, or as she calls herself, Super Mayor, and supervisor of Thornton Township, where she makes over $200,000 a year. Now, before Henyard's election in 2021, Dalton was like any other suburban community with festivals, parades, and its share of problems. But today, Dalton is known more for the mayor herself and the never-ending allegations that she's used and abused her two offices at Dalton and Thornton Township for pricey security details, trips to Vegas, unmissable highway billboards, and the curious donation of township tax dollars to a cancer charity named for, you guessed it, Mayor Henyard.
Nobody knows something. Don't nobody know nothing.
Tiffany Henyard certainly isn't shy about attracting attention. Here she is starting a Dalton Village board meeting dressed like the Wesley Snipes character in the movie New Jack City, later punctuating her political points with the help of her own DJ.
Every single resident. Pay me what you owe me.
Stop right there, y'all. What y'all think about that? What y'all think about that? Now, Ann says I can't with her. Now, do y'all think she's ghetto? What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Do y'all think she's ghetto? Now, there's a lot of different terminology for ghetto. Salute, I'm on one. Salute, I'm on one. Appreciate you. I'm on one for pulling up. Mel says she going too far with that. Positive says not her playing the Rihanna song. Yeah. Woo! All right. Drop a one. Drop a one if y'all think she was being ghetto by playing the Rihanna song. Ann says she's ratchet. Drop a one if y'all think that that was just ghetto. Drop a two if y'all think that it wasn't. The For Life says nope. The For Life says no. What do you say, Pay? Oh, man. Positive vibes dropped the two. Because see, Ann dropped the one. What exactly is ghetto? Let me ask y'all this. What exactly is ghetto? You know. What's ghetto? Is it your behavior? Ann says y'all tripping saying no. So for everybody that's saying no, she ain't ghetto, Ann said y'all tripping. The For Life says it's time to pack up and leave that town. So what makes a person ghetto? Is it where they live at? Is it how they act? What determines what's ghetto and what determines what's not ghetto? Ann says acting out New Jack City in the village meeting. Yeah. Shout out to Nino Brown. Shout out to New Jack City. Shout out to New Jack City and Nino Brown. I'm on one, drop the one. I'm on one, drop the one. She was dressed like Nino Brown. I gotta go back. I gotta play some more, y'all. I gotta play some more. The For Life says that's ghetto thing. It is you just showed us. I gotta show this some more, y'all. She dressed like Nino Brown, y'all.
Thank you, DJ.
Henyard's picture and name adorn virtually every public posting, both from Dalton, where as mayor she makes $46,000 a year, and in Thornton Township, where as the elected supervisor she collects more than $200,000 a year. But for all that money, Henyard's tenure at both has been chaotic, with firings, scandals, and a legal battle with the Dalton trustees over spending.
What's your credit card debt balance?
They lit, y'all. They lit. Somebody's lit.
3 easy solutions you can.
So last fall, Henyard did something that was listening, helping his the Tiffany Cares Foundation to help rescue.
Hey, but y'all gotta give it to her now. She was getting it though, wasn't she? You gotta give it to her. She was getting
cancer patients. And on the very day the charity was chartered, it received a huge donation, $10,000, from the Thornton Township Board, which Henyard presides over.
Taxpayer money shouldn't be paid into those types of things.
Stephanie Wiedemann is the former Thornton Township Chief of Staff whom Henyard fired shortly after taking over in March of last year.
It almost felt like a takeover, and a very aggressive one at that.
Since her firing, Wiedemann has been documenting township spending and says she's stunned by the taxpayer dollars funneled into Henyard's charity, especially this.
We got 10 days. We're going 196 miles.
Last October, Henyard led a delegation of Dalton and Thornton Township employees and political supporters on a march to Springfield to promote her breast cancer charity, which she documented on her Facebook page.
We're walking through Dalton. All right, we're in Brightwood now. We are in Godly now. We in Bloomington, baby.
I can pretty much map out their entire Springfield trip on the township credit cards.
That's right. Henyard billed thousands of dollars in hotel rooms and meals during the trip to Thornton Township and Dalton credit cards. In addition, the videos show Henyard used multiple village and township vehicles owned by taxpayers to escort the caravan, including a flatbed trailer with a photographer, flying a drone, and a DJ.
We got out there right here coming from Dalton, Illinois, walking all the way to Springfield. We gotta make some noise for our man, the People's Fair.
But they didn't always walk.
We on motorbikes, baby.
At times, riding electric bikes.
Y'all see my bike?
Our township
Superman.
It looks like a misspending of tax funds. I think that's the biggest concern.
Dalton trustee Jason House has been doing battle with the mayor since she took office.
Very disturbing to hear these things and to kind of see some of the receipts that appear to be connected to it. And I think the taxpayers really deserve better than that.
And then there's the merch.
Shirt. One of the t-shirts.
Along the way, Henyard sold and gave away t-shirts and hoodies, also available on her charity's website.
So let's stop right there. Let's chop it up right there, y'all. Now, my man said that there's receipts of her spending the taxpayers' dollars. Now, in my opinion, and y'all could correct me if I'm wrong, in my opinion, I don't believe that that's what the mayor is supposed to do. Now, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I don't believe that the mayor is supposed to spend the taxpayers' dollars on any personal vacations, trips, merch. Now, if she brought, but she only get paid, did I hear him say $46,000 a year? That's nothing. That's chump change. That's chump change. Maybe I heard it wrong, but is that what y'all heard as well? That as mayor, she only gets $46,000 a year. That's chump change. But in my opinion, I will say that it's wrong of her if she's spending the taxpayers' dollars. 411 says she got more than one position. Right. And then another position that she's in, I believe she makes over $200,000. So now we know that she's getting money. We know that she's getting money. That's not the case. That's not the issue. She gets paid nice. So she double and triple dip. She gets paid nice. She works she has two jobs. Now, if she's taking her funds from her salary to get the merch and things of that nature, then that's fine. But if she's spending the taxpayers' dollars, then that's not fine. That's wrong. That's wrong. I like her energy. I will say that. I like her energy. I know a lot of people says that, she's definitely ghetto. That's why they deemed her, or that's why they labeled her the city girl mayor, because, she acts ratchet. And, one thing that I will say in the defense of black women, because just as well as if a white woman was the mayor, the white woman is going to act based off of how she feel. If it's a Mexican, no matter what nationality of a female that gets that position, they're going to act, their behavior is going to reflect the culture that they're from. Now, does that make that bad? So with Tiffany, she's just a reflection of her character. And says, did she appoint herself those other positions like she thinks she has, like all this power? It's weird. We're going to come to that. I have a video, I have some audio where as though we're going to come to that. But are we riding her because she's just acting out the culture that she's from or that she can identify with? Because believe it or not, that culture, that hip hop culture, that ratchet culture, that city girl culture, believe it or not, women all around the world act like that. Now, is it professional? That's the question that I want to ask everybody. That's going to be the question that I want us to focus on. She's the mayor. It's the same demonstration with Trump. Is it professional for a mayor to act ratchet, to act ghetto, just because that's the culture that they come from? In my opinion, I'm going to say no. Because when you take on a job, jobs are meant to be professional at all times. Now, maybe somebody can enlighten me on, what it takes when you accept the job, but my belief is no matter if you're cleaning horse-ish, if you're picking up horse-ish, there's still some kind of professionalism that you have to present. So in my opinion, I like the idea, don't get me wrong, but I think that her being mayor, I think she should tone it down. This is what I'm trying to say. I think that she should tone it down. I understand her approach, but I think that she should tone it down. How do y'all feel? Do y'all think she should tone it down as mayor? I think at times, her dressing like, I think her dressing like Nino Brown. I don't think that was called. I like it now, don't get me wrong, but I don't think that was called for. Salute, JD. Appreciate you for pulling up, JD. Salute. I think her dressing up like Nino Brown at that meeting, I think that was out of pocket. I do. Now, when she's out and about and she's in the public and she's dealing with the public, that energy with her dancing and stuff like that, I don't think anything is wrong with that because she's out in the public. But I think that in board meetings, definitely in board meetings, I think that everyone should be professional in board meetings. And says, and her playing that song like she was referring to the taxpayers, put it in that, right. Like I said, the culture that we come from, that ratchet culture, that's acceptable in that culture because everybody that's ratchet, that's how everybody that's ratchet, that's their mind frame. That's how they thinking. You know what I mean? Put it in my pocket, make it rain, and so forth and so forth. But being a mayor of any city, that's not thinking professional. And says, imagine what the homeowners are thinking that I'll live there in that village. Correct. And as much as I do give Trump credit and his flowers, his character, That's one of the things with Trump that I didn't like. I didn't like, you know, his character. Let's go back to some more of the city mayor. I know y'all tired of seeing my bald head.
A week before the trip, the township paid $17,000 for specially printed hoodies and t-shirts, but won't say what they're for.
I think that everything she has initiated has been something to promote her, something to get her name in household, something to get people to buy into voting for her.
Our investigation found at least $11,000 in public funds spent on that trip. But both Dalton and Thornton Township have been slow or unresponsive to open records requests. So what was the purpose of the 10-day march to Springfield?
I have created a bill, which we're going to speak before the Revenue Committee, to give everybody $5,000 on their income tax when they file.
Stop right there now. How y'all feel about that? She said she got a bill for everybody to receive $5,000, an extra $5,000 on their income taxes. How do y'all feel about that? Salute life work. Salute light work.
You are suffering from cancer.
A noble goal, except the Revenue Committee wasn't meeting
That's if you're suffering from cancer.
when the group arrived in Springfield. Henyard did later testify at a committee hearing in Chicago, but so far nothing has come of her bill.
I think I'm doing a damn good job on leave.
So we went to a recent Thornton Township Board meeting to ask Henyard some questions about all that spending.
I've never ever been bitter to the news. Max, this is my olive branch to the media. Can you guys reach out to us and ask us our opinion before you post things? I would appreciate it.
Tough jobs need tougher tools. The Hercules 20-volt brushless platform from Harbor Freight is...
And so we did. I'll ask you a few questions.
Okay.
But Henyard wasn't anxious to talk about her charity. Why did you and the board vote to give your foundation $10,000?
I'm the face of the foundation. My name is nowhere, so I'm the face.
The face. What was the purpose of going to Springfield?
She doesn't have any more comments.
We're going to talk.
She doesn't have any more comments. Thanks, guys.
That's Keith Freeman, whom Henyard hired at both Dalton and Thornton Township and was part of her Springfield walk.
Look at Keith, baby!
Freeman also filed paperwork for the charity bearing Henyard's name. Why are you using public money for your personal charity? And with that, her security detail hustled Henyard upstairs and blocked the staircase with a table. So we tried asking another employee who went on that trip. You went down to Springfield, and what were you hoping to do in
You need to ask the
Springfield?
people that handles that. I'm not the one that handled it. I was just riding the bike. We need more officers on the streets. We need our streets repaved. So to spend that kind of money on a charitable event or supposed charitable event really doesn't seem like the best use of tax dollars.
Take a drive to the south suburbs, and you can't miss them. 4 giant billboards featuring Tiffany Henyard's name in large letters, along with her picture, smiling down on the thousands of cars going by on Interstate 57 and the Bishop Ford Expressway. What are they advertising? One says fresh produce, another senior services, and this one simply says we offer general assistance. There's a phone number, but you wouldn't know what it's for unless you can read in teeny tiny letters, Thornton Township Supervisor, as you're speeding by. These are the billboards that have gone up along the expressways. We showed the billboards to Bert Odelson, an election attorney who's been working in Illinois politics for 50 years.
When I first looked at it, I thought, what is she running for now? Because that's what it shouts out.
Odelson, who represents a political faction opposed to Henyard and Dalton, says it's clear the billboards are promoting more than township services. He says they're essentially campaign ads.
Is the billboards too much? What do y'all think? Are the billboards too much? Rock Squad, how do y'all feel? Ann says their fire hydrants don't work. Salute James. Salute James. James says she gives me due to vibes from the show The Shy. I don't trust her. How do y'all feel about the billboards? Are the billboards too much? Did she go overboard with the billboards? She's promoting like hell. You would think she got a mixtape coming out. She got a mix CD or something. She promoting. Like I said, I'm going to give y'all the good, the bad, and the ugly. Lightwork says if taxpayers pay for it, then it's too much. She playing chess. She playing chess. Now, whether we want to acknowledge it or not, whether, we disagree, she playing chess, y'all. She playing chess. I'm a chess player. She playing chess. Them other folks might be playing checkers. She playing chess. And says, yes, it's too much. She should be laying businesses beyond those billboards to generate income with her. It's me, myself, and I. I agree. Now, some will ask, Shank, what is she doing for the black community? Let me just stay right there, and then I'm going to broaden it out as far as what is she's doing for the city of Dalton, period. But a black mayor, a black female mayor at that, majority of black people are going to ask the question, what is she doing for black people? She's promoting herself. We see that. She's playing chess to set herself up after her mayor position comes to an end. But what is she doing for black people? Now, what is she doing for not only black people, what is she doing for that city? Well, we know one thing that we heard, that she's trying to get a bill passed for those that have cancer to receive an extra $5,000 on their income taxes. And I know somebody mentioned that $5,000 is nothing, and says she's doing nothing. Really, she went and built herself an ice skating ring, even though the whole trustees board voted against it. She still did it. Salute, my boo. Appreciate you for pulling up, my boo. Maybe that's why the people are angry with her. Maybe. We're going to go to an actual meeting, and this says the mayor, Tiffany Henyard, destroyed by residents and trustees at a chaotic meeting. The For Life says not a thing in the world. And this is one thing that, in my opinion, I think that regardless of what nationality, whether it's a white lady, whether it's a black lady, whether it's an immigrant, I do believe that the mayor supposed to be the mayor of that city. And I do believe that the mayor is supposed to make things right for the whole city. I don't think that it should be made for one ethnic or one group of people. You got a black mayor, so okay, she's only going to look out for black people. In my opinion, I don't think that that's right. I think a black mayor, I think a white mayor, I think a purple mayor should look out for the people of that city. But let's go to an actual meeting where the residents had some things to say. Let's go.
You don't answer that. Especially you, didn't you speak? You can't tell me nothing. Yeah. But at the same time, you serious discussion. I asked you, did we get $6.8 million? You don't answer that. Especially you, didn't you speak? You can't tell me nothing.
I guess my little review so far of what we've seen, it was Tiffany Henyard being completely cooked, getting just wiped down, washed out. First by the public comments. I mean, they said everything that they want to say to her face, calling her dumb, she can't read, she can't speak, she can't write, her grammar's terrible, just completely destroyed her. I mean, I think the beginning was a good sign that she was just going to get cooked, right?
Pay for your own makeup and your own styles. Why would you think that the residents have to pay for that? You are so stupid. Surviving here, this administration is shameful. Y'all are a disgrace because you know what? Y'all getting RICO charges. Y'all getting RICO charges because y'all have conspired to lie to the residents. You all have been stealing property, that property that's built on that corner. Man, you so silly. You didn't even have the nerve enough to bring it to the board, bring it to the citizens. You didn't even make sure that the town, some of the residents got the jobs over there on that construction site. But you know why? Because you doing pay to play, baby. They paying you. That's why. You're doing pay to play. The reason the business people didn't get their business license, because they wouldn't pay to play with you. That is why. And the FBI know. They know everything you're doing. And baby, you better come with those receipts, because if you don't, you probably played Kwame. Y'all played him, but the FBI sure enough gonna be knocking on your door at your house, coming to get your ass at 4 o'clock in the morning.
And I feel as a young Black woman, you have told us time and time again that you have the receipts. And that's all this is really about: being transparent, being open, being honest. It has nothing to do with shaming a Black woman in power, nor shaming the super mayor, as you so infinitely call yourself, with a whole bunch of flyers and billboards. Yeah, the little heart was cute, but I really don't appreciate the way you played my son out of his money for the little dance camp that you also promised him that everyone else does not know about. It's not that we're stalking the Black woman in power. It's just the wrong Black woman, a Black woman who does not know how to manage finances.
That's some receipts for your ass. She busted, disgusted, and can't be trusted. They busted her ass. So ain't too much of advocating I could do. Ain't too much of me trying to dress it up and clean it up. I could try to play devil's advocate all I want. I can't get around that. Those were receipts. Those were receipts.
Mr. Delgado, unasked that seat. You got $1.2 million between us and the township. You can go home and play with your checkbook or whatever you play with. But sitting up there, you need to go. You don't protect us. You don't represent us. You represent the mayor. First of all, it is misconduct. And if there's anything I can do about it, it's going to be done. You represent the mayor against the people's trustees. What kind of bullshit is that? And you call yourself our lawyer. You call yourself our lawyer. It tells me what you think of us, that you show up here. And the same thing with you, Keith. The nerve of you all to put your asses in front of us when you disrespect us the way you do.
I just want to say this because you've always said, let me educate y'all. Let me educate y'all. You know, and it's insulting. I mean, what are your credentials? You don't have the wherewithal to educate a preschooler, and you're trying to educate us who have degrees and other things. I mean, it is insane. Please retire that phrase. It's egregious at this point. Let me educate y'all. I don't understand it. And then, you know, you're always saying, fake news, they hating on me. Fake news. We're like, I mean, why would anyone just want to hate on the mayor? I mean, you have to give them a reason to want to hate you, and you've given everyone several. You're not accountable. You don't respect people that have a different opinion or opinion that goes against yours. You're not qualified at this point. You're not qualified for that seat for various reasons. We're not even going to talk about like the grammar. I mean, that's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. Keith Freeman, let me not forget about you and that deer in headlight look you had on the news. And I hope you get everything that's coming to you. Chief Lacey, you're bogus. I saw the whole live with Jedediah. You literally concocted a story and you went and you made a report based on your imagination, basically, because what you said did not happen. He was live and people were watching live. So, like, I don't know. I mean, I can't understand why you would just so blatantly, knowing your position, knowing the oath that you're sworn to, disrespect a citizen for no reason, really. I mean, other than a personal reason. You didn't have a legal reason. It's just a matter of time. Time is ticking. People are waiting, and people are going to celebrate. I'm going to be right there.
Then later on, no plants.
How long will she last? One angry resident says it's just a matter of time. People are waiting. Once again, this demonstration is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Everything that you hear in this demonstration is allegedly only. So those were some angry residents. Now, the For Life says them people look crazy, sounding crazy, and don't know exactly what they talking about. It's different ways to do this. That ain't it. Esther says that's real sad. She said they mistreating them. How do y'all feel about this? How do y'all feel? Do y'all still feel the same way about Tiffany Henyard? Do y'all think she's ghetto? Do y'all think she's taking the taxpayers' dollars and, paying for merch, paying for trips and other things? What's the take on City Girl Mayor Tiffany Henyard? And after this, we're going to go to allegedly Dalton's tree trimming scam. Mayor Tiffany Henyard's massive fraud scheme. So allegedly, we have some receipts. Now, in my opinion, it's not looking good for this mayor. It's not. And it's still so much that we have to cover. It's still so much out there. But just off of the little bit that we've been hearing, it's really not looking too good for her, because once again, when you take on any job, it's a level of professionalism that comes with this job. Now, the professionalism that comes with being a mayor of a city, your standards, the bar is up here. You can't just be doing anything. You can't. As much as you might want to move left, as much as you might want to go in left field, you can't. You can't. You just can't. I'm a small-time content creator. And as much as I want to go in left field, I can't. I still have to remain professional as I can. I want to scratch. I want to get down for the get down. But me being a content creator is a job. And I still have to be professional. So if I know as a content creator that I have to obtain some kind of professionalism, then I'm sure when it comes to being a mayor, for surely you got to know that there's a level of professionalism. Now, once again, I'm for her promoting herself. I am, because I look at that as a chess move. She's basically setting herself up because she knows that she's not going to be the mayor forever. And she don't get paid a whole lot of money with being this mayor. So she's just setting herself up. She playing chess. She moving 2 moves. She's taking 2 steps. That's what all of the promoting is. The merch. She's setting herself up. How do y'all feel? Before I go to this Dalton tree trimming scam, there's receipts. But before I go to these receipts of her with this massive fraud scheme, how do y'all feel? Once again, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Make sure y'all hitting the like button. If you don't know where the like button is, hit the 3 dots. Hit the 3 dots. And hit that like button. Let's get them likes up. And then I will be going to the shocking news of Cedric the Entertainment admitting that he stole some jokes. And then we'll come back. We'll end it off with more of the Tiffany Henyard. But we're definitely going to chop it up about Cedric the Entertainer stealing some jokes. Salute John Q. I see you, John Q. Appreciate you for pulling up. Salute John Q. John Q has been covering this case, so he definitely is on point when it comes to this case. So now let me go to the receipts of the Dalton's tree trimming scam. Mayor Tiffany Henyard's massive fraud scheme. Let's go to the receipts.
$73,000 in the entire situation. And it just shows like, so when you go through this, the total amount spent on tree cutting, $573,000 for 1 month of services. Not one of these 7 companies has a contract with the village. This is a no-bid fraud scam started by Tiffany Henyard. There's actually a really, really good video I want you guys to take a look at real quick. It's from Go Political. This video is doing extremely well. I don't know if you guys have checked it out with some of these great videos breaking down the psychology, the way she manipulates, and also like this video right here where he was able to break down this Dalton tree trimming scam. I don't even know if there's such thing that you have a tree trimming scam. Like, whoa, wait, what? 76,000 views in 11 hours. He's almost at 2,000 subscribers. Please subscribe to this channel. The guy has great work, and he's doing a lot of awesome things. So this situation, which he uncovered, is outrageous. So let me try to summarize it real quick. There's kickbacks from the contracts alleging that the mayor, Tiffany Henyard of Dalton, is orchestrating a tree trimming scam involving no-bid contracts where she's personally benefiting from these kickbacks. The claim is that the city spends $300,000 to $400,000 monthly on unnecessary tree trimming that isn't budgeted, suggesting that the financial mismanagement and obviously corruption. $300,000 to $400,000 a month on tree trimming. That's not budgeted. And then she's also accused of manipulating the process to secure these no-bid contracts while distracting the trustees and the residents with her nonsense, her yelling and her talking over everybody and just manipulating the entire situation. And it just shows like there's a lack of transparency, there's a lack of due process with these contract rewards, with many trustees and residents reportedly unaware of these contracts until they're due for payment. So it's outrageous. And I hope you guys check out his channel. I want to play a little bit of the video so you have an idea of what he's talking about.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard's tree trimming racket is about to be exposed. So how does she get away with doling out hundreds of thousands of dollars for no bid contracts? And how does she benefit? You asked for it, and now you're going to get it.
We spending roughly between $300,000 and $400,000 every month or every other month on tree trimming. It makes no sense. It's not budgeted anywhere. It's not about beautification. If you're gonna cut the trees, cut the dead trees, trim the trees. But you making this a project of beauty just to be like, they said no. They said no. It's not fair to us.
When you see that, and now we know through all of the information that we've seen and analyzed and all the trouble that they're currently in, it's spending all that kind of money. You know the money was going into the pockets of her and her cronies. It's pretty obvious, but let's listen to more what Carlton has to say about this one.
But what is really
Amazing helps Anthony through night classes. Amazing starts at CSL Plasma. Donate plasma today and receive up to $700 your first month. You can help create medicines that save lives while making a difference in your own. CSL Plasma. Do the amazing.
going on here? Now, why do we see meeting after meeting the same discussion coming from the trustees complaining about these no bid contracts?
No one is against getting trees cut. The problem is when we see, and that's why I say, I know you said that we do RFPs. Yes, the engineering department does RFPs, but anyone who's attended these meetings haven't heard of an RFP being presented in a whole entire year and a half. So when we ask, we're asking because it's a concern. When I look at this warrant list, we have $352,105 on tree trimming, just on this warrant list. But yet we have John Pros who come to us and say, well, he's giving you a quote of $2.6 million to cut every tree down in the village. So these are real concerns.
Like, what kind of shady nonsense is this? Like, what is going on? So I checked out this video and I'm thinking, like, how is this supposed to be done properly? Which, because Henyard doesn't do anything properly. It's always either shady or just completely incompetent. So a proper contracting process is first, obviously, the need identification. A public entity identifies a need, such as tree trimming, defines the scope of the work required. So not trimming them and then cutting them doesn't make any sense 1 month. Like, it's a racket. There must be some kind of scam going on, right? Then they talk about the RFP, it's the request for proposal. So our RFP is issued publicly, inviting qualified contractors to submit their bids. Remember, qualified contractors, not shady people who only like Henyard. This documents what exactly is required in the evaluation criteria and how the bids should be submitted. This is how it's supposed to work. Then there's public bidding. The bidding is open, the process, right? It's open to all qualified bidders to ensure no preferential treatment. Now, this is the complete opposite of everything that Henyard believes in. Everything's preferential treatment if you like her. And if you can do something for her, she'll do something for you. That's how it works. You have to show love and loyalty, and she bless you with property, with contracts, or whatever. So, but the way it's supposed to happen, when you have qualified bidders to ensure there's no preferential treatment, this stage is crucial for transparency. Again, she's allergic to that, and competition. Then there's evaluation of the bids. The bids are evaluated based on criteria such as cost, experience, capability. Does this shit make sense? Process is documented, often involves a committee to ensure that you can defend the decisions. They're not biased. And if someone wanted to question the decisions, it's everything documented so it doesn't like people don't know what they're talking about or just looking to try to get away with things. And then the contract is awarded to the most qualified bidder who meets all those criteria. And then this is another really important part that, of course, Henyard's not gonna do. Throughout the entire contract period, there is oversight to ensure compliance with these terms. So the payments are tied to milestones, just like when you contract for something, you make sure that it's getting done at a certain time, certain quality.
That's another L. That's another L for her. So now she's caught up in a tree trimming scam. Let's see what the FBI has to say, y'all.
Was paid by her campaign fund in a group called Residents for Tiffany claims her campaign literature was paid by her campaign fund in a group called Residents for a Better Dalton. However, it turns out that this group doesn't even exist.
So somebody going to jail.
So Tiffany Henyard is like really screwed. She is in a whole lot of trouble, and she's probably going to go to jail. We're going to check out this news clip, and we're going to dive deeper into her corruption as the mayor of Dalton and the supervisor of the township. She's really screwed. Let's get into it.
Fox 32 has obtained copies of the 2 federal subpoenas served on Thornton Township on Friday. And there are 2 big takeaways. Tiffany Henyard is clearly a target of the criminal investigation. And that investigation is growing.
Overall, it tells me that the investigation is expanding. It's not just focusing on the city of Dalton.
Former FBI agent Ross Wright says the subpoenas revealed the burgeoning scope of the federal criminal investigation into Thornton Township Supervisor and Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
So the center of this investigation is all about Tiffany Henyard. She juggles the roles of the township supervisor and the Dalton mayor. And it appears that it's not just a participant. She is the target. One subpoena focuses squarely on her, covering a variety of her interests, including 2 businesses that she owns, a restaurant and a property management company, and extends to her political fund and a charity named after her. She is screwed. They're digging everything. They're looking for everything. And Henyard has been terrible at almost everything.
It asks for all records, including personnel files, wage and tax statements, time and attendance, records of work performed, contracts, and checks written to cash.
Look at all the things that the FBI are trying to get into. There's so many issues. There's so many things that Henyard has done that there's records of that show that she has committed criminal behavior. I don't know if she's going to try to find a way to get a deal or try to throw this blame on other people. All this is bad. Everything. From the property company that is probably mixed with some of this funds coming from the township, the charity that's fake, the stupid Good Burger, and I didn't see Mondo Burger, but I know she has both of those terrible companies. She is in so much trouble, and they're digging deep, really deep.
The mayor and the township supervisor, who are one and the same, appear to be the primary focus of the investigation.
The second subpoena requests a kitchen sink of township records, including financial reports, budgets, payroll records, and ordinances covering credit card purchases, expense reimbursements, security details, and the use of vehicles.
All things that, if you check this channel and many channels and you check Fox 32, it's all bad. So many things that she has done that were probably not just unethical, but illegal.
Mayor Officer Young put in for 303 hours in a 2-week period. 303 hours. Fox 32 has reported extensively about Henyard's use of a police security detail, which police say has hampered their ability to fight crime. You need security to protect you from questions from reporters?
Yes. Yes.
She going to prison, y'all. She going to prison. She gonna end up in prison. She got a lot going on. She got a lot of receipts out there. She didn't cross a lot of her T's. She didn't dot a lot of her I's. She's leaving behind a paper trail. What do y'all think? I think she's going to end up in prison. I think she's going to have restitution in 6 figures. I think she's going to be paying restitution. As I said before, I give her brownie points for setting herself up for when she's no longer mayor, meaning the billboards. I like that idea. I like the idea of her billboards. I like the idea of her merch. I like the idea of how she interacts with the kids, how she interacts with the public. Those are some of the things that I like. However, my likes don't compare to the shit that she got herself into. The fraud, the scams, the paying, using the taxpayers' money for this, for that. It don't make a difference how much I like her moves. You hear what I'm saying? She was wrong. You know, she was wrong. How y'all feel? And we're going to go to the next part of this demonstration. Cedric, the entertainer, stealing these jokes. How do y'all feel? Like I said, I'm for the billboards. Promote yourself. You know what I mean? I'm for that. But this other shit that she got going on, John Q says she has a lot of unqualified people working in her administration. Her attitude towards the trustees doesn't help her either. And that's facts. That's facts. So that's why I said, John Q, Positive Vibe says she could have gave you some money for your organic. Yeah, that would have been nice, wouldn't it? Somebody tag Tiffany Henyard. Hey, Tiffany, the old man needs some organic hair products. I need some organic skin products. I need some money. Somebody hashtag Tiffany Henyard. I want my cut. Shit. But it's not looking good. It's not looking good for her. You know they're going to be on that ass. You know they're going to be on that ass. So, Cat Williams has made it known that Cedric, the entertainer, stole one of his jokes. The spaceship joke. The spaceship joke. Shout out to Cedric, the entertainer, as well as Cat Williams. I like Cedric, the entertainer, as far as stand-up comedy. I like him better than Cat Williams, but still they both are good. I like Cat Williams stand-up. You know, it's not to take away from neither one of them. But it does look like Cedric did take Cat Williams' joke. How many of y'all feel that way? Do y'all feel like Cat Williams' joke? Do y'all feel like Cedric the entertainer? Let me show y'all. Let me show y'all. Once again, everything that you hear is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Let's check out Cat Williams' joke, and y'all let me know, is it any similarities? Is it Cedric completely jacked him for the joke? Y'all let me know, what do y'all think?
That's a no-name comedian, and that he could take this joke and nobody would know. Right. The issue, right? So he thought that I was just a no-name comedian, and that he could take this joke and nobody would know. Right. The issue was that I had already done this particular joke on BET's Comic View twice. Right. It had done so well on BET's Comic View that they had made it part of the commercial. So part of the commercial of make sure you tune in to BET was you seeing me doing this joke. Right. So this is not just a random joke. This is my very best joke, and it's my last joke, and it's my closing joke. Okay. 1998. I'm doing this joke. It's on Comic View. Cedric comes to the Comedy Store. He watches me in the audience. He comes backstage. He tells me what a great job I did and how much he loves the joke. 2 years later, he's doing that as his last joke on the Kings of Comedy. And he's doing it verbatim. He's just changed my car into a spaceship. Him and Steve had already apologized for me, so I gave him a pass for a decade.
Yeah, I mean, can't say you stole one of his jokes. Yeah, like, I mean, it was ridiculous. You know what I mean? It was like the idea of the joke that he was even talking about don't even match up with no timeline. So for me, it was one of those things like... Did you have a conversation? Did you guys sell it? Did you have a conversation with Cat? Well, I responded to him the way he responded to me, but that's what I said as well. I've seen Cat, you know, even before then, Right. I've seen this guy 30 times. Like, dog, if you literally was that upset about it, like, dog, why didn't you say, why didn't you say nothing? Like, that don't even make sense. This is some internet shit, and that's all I can say. So, you know, when I responded to him, he didn't respond back to me, and I left it at that.
Why would you sit here and be like, I saw Cat 30 times, and Cat didn't do, as I stand before you, Shannon, I would have bust Cedric's stomach. There was nothing that would have kept me from one of these in that patch right there. Like, are you kidding me? Why would you downplay me like that? Why did I give you a pass if you were just gonna lie? And so that's what I'm saying. Like, they're all a group. Cedric, Steve, Ricky, they've been a group. Everybody knows that. They've been aligned. And there are these alliances in comedy. And if you stand against them, then they sometimes have a problem. But we don't let that change the content, because that's all you know me for, is that I'm quite likely to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Our radio up so loud that you couldn't hear the damn thing when it cut off. It looked like this. You flossing in a stick shift convertible.
I know we'd drive a space shuttle too. That's right up our damn alley. A space shuttle is long. They ain't scared no black folk. We'd drive a space shuttle. We grew up driving long cars. We'd drive a space shuttle like it's a 72 deuce and a quarter. Nigga, we get us a cigarette, nigga. We be in a space shuttle, nigga, like it's a 72 deuce. Nigga, we get Y'all know the only time we turn our music down is when we got a parallel park. That's the only time we got to concentrate, nigga.
Rock Squad. Rock Squad. Drop a 1 if y'all think Cedric just straight out bit his joke. Drop a 2 if y'all see some similarities. Drop a 3 if y'all don't think Cedric stole his joke. Drop a 1 if y'all think Cedric stole his joke. Drop a 2 if y'all see some similarities. Drop a 3 if y'all don't think Cedric stole his joke, because Cat done his joke first on Comic View. So that's known. Salute Sharon. Sharon says she sees some similarities. I see a lot of similarities. I do. Now, just because there's some similarities, James says Cedric definitely bit his joke. Is it any threes out there? Is it any threes out there? Is it anyone? Is it someone that feel like Cedric didn't steal it and there's no similarities? Is there any threes? The Full Life dropped the 1. Cat said he thought he would be a nobody. And that happens. That happens. But you never know. You never know who this woman, you never know who that man, you never know who that child one day will grow up to be. You just don't know. Nobody knows. You don't even know what you're going to be. Wow. But as I stated before, it still doesn't take away from Cedric the Entertainer. I still believe Cedric the Entertainer is definitely one of the kings of comedy. Do y'all think Cat Williams should have made a big deal about it? How would y'all feel? Like, if y'all was in Cat Williams' shoes, how would y'all feel? Would y'all have made a big deal about it? If y'all was in Cat Williams' shoes? Or would y'all have just let it slide? Would y'all have just brushed it off and said, it's all good, it's all good? Me, I probably, it depends. It depends. Because Cat did say that Cedric and Steve did apologize. He did say that they did apologize. So when they apologized, did you say to him, hey, Ced, okay, well, I appreciate if you don't use that. I appreciate if you don't use none of my material. The Full Life says sometimes you get tired of the bull-ish. And that's true. That's true. That's true. Sometimes you just get tired of it. But for Cedric to just brush it off and make it seem like, you know, that's my thing. You know, where's the accountability at? It gotta be some kind of accountability. Right is right and wrong is wrong. If you wrong somebody, it is what it is. Just apologize. Michelle dropped a 2. Michelle says she sees some similarities. So we're going to come back to Tiffany. We're going to come back to Tiffany, y'all. Now, here's another. It says Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard sued by church for alleged discrimination. You can't make this ish up.
Of discriminating against the church. Redeemed Christian Church of Tiffany Henyard is facing a lawsuit, a federal lawsuit, accusing her of discriminating against the church. Redeemed Christian Church of God Resurrection Power Assembly alleges the mayor and the village failed to apply Dalton's zoning code by preventing the church from renovating the building it purchased. The pastor said the church needed more space because attendance has gone up. That church has operated in Dalton for the past 10 years. We're waiting for a response to the lawsuit.
So now she's being sued by the church for alleged discrimination. She's been busy. She's been busy.
And when it comes to finances, trustees who were here tonight say they recently won a court case getting the clerk's name back on the village bank account. They say it had been improperly removed.
The trustees did win in court. I have the case right here. Let's go over it. So we've been covering Tiffany A. Henyard for a long time, and there have been some recent developments in court that I think you need to be aware of. Now, for those of you who don't know, Tiffany A. Henyard is the mayor of Dalton, Illinois. Now, Dalton is a suburb of Chicago. Now, this woman has essentially become a dictator and taken the town over. Now, to make a long story short, Tiffany A. Henyard is under FBI investigation.
Fox 32 has information indicating the FBI has launched an investigation into controversial Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
The state attorney general is investigating her.
WGN Investigates has learned a suburban politician's charity has attracted the attention of the Illinois Attorney General after failing to file financial documents.
We've reported on Tiffany Henyard. She holds two elected positions, Dalton Mayor and Thornton Township Supervisor. She has used those positions to steer money to her own cancer charity. But how that money is being used is anyone's guess.
And many more problems. Now, one of the main problems that's occurring in Dalton is spending. The mayor has put the city in a $7 million budget deficit, which is huge for a place like this, because there's only about 20,000 residents of Dalton, Illinois. Now, the mayor has stopped giving any financial data to the village trustees, who are essentially the city council. Now, this lack of financial transparency and no one understanding what's going on with the bank accounts and the finances of Dalton have led the trustees to have to file a lawsuit to get the information, to understand what's going on with the village's finances. So the trustees filed this lawsuit alleging 5 specific things. Now, first, the trustees allege that the mayor has been issuing checks without the required approval from the village board and without the clerk's signature. Now, this is mandated by Illinois Municipal Code and village law. Here's an example.
Just for the record, and the reason I guess I want all of the citizens to know why we're so adamant about this budget and what's going on. May 12, 2021, a resolution was passed. The following persons are hereby authorized to be added as signatories for all city accounts. Mayor Tiffany Henyard, Village Clerk Allison Key. Any prior signatories or individuals authorized and hereby removed from the accounts, prior authorization is revoked. Number of signatures required are a combination of both signatures. After approval of payment by the village board, each check shall be signed by the mayor and the clerk. We have a $500,000 check signed by Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Y'all wonder why we worried about the money? This is why we worried about the money. $561,000 check with one signature on there. It's a problem. That means that money is being spent, and after we don't find out till after the check's been cashed. That's why we up here complaining.
So as you can see,
wow. Wow. For the fellas out there, how many of y'all would date Tiffany Henyard? Drop a 1, fellas. Drop a 1 if y'all would date Tiffany Henyard. Y'all already know I'm dropping a 1. I'm dropping a 1. I'd date the hell out of her ass. Now, this is something fresh off the press, y'all, what I'm about to show y'all. This is city workers bag super mad Tiffany Henyard, and she refuses to pay them. Positive Vibe says, I ain't surprised.
It's an everyday thing, it's an everyday thing, it's an everyday thing when you let your last time.
This is a sad day, boy.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Jacqueline Chin, and I'm a new resident. Just purchased a home over on Blackstone.
Oh, you a new resident, girl. You walked into hell. How you a new resident? She just don't know. She walked into bought a house in the worst place in America right now.
And when I purchased the property, I was told there was an inspection done on the house, and it said I had 4 months to bring it up to code. I put up an escrow, and the inspections were completed October 12th, and I was told I was going to get back my escrow check, and it's been almost 2 months now.
Guess what? Guess what? They spent it. Girl, they blew your money fast. They blew that escrow fast.
Good evening, everyone. My name is DeMarcus Kirkley. I'm a 27-year resident as of this month. I want to come shed some lights on some things that's going on in the community with the tree trimming, with us having the contractors still doing the work, but they're not being paid. I'm just hoping that this meeting will bring and shed light to the people that really need to get paid. These are the people that we call on for emergencies.
Tiffany back there like, paid. Paid.
She's straight gangstering everybody. Wow. Wow. She ain't paying nobody. Michelle says the devil is busy. Wow, Tiff. Wow, y'all.
Respond to us to answer right here and there. You can ask your question now. So what? Same thing at every single board meeting. What are your questions? We can answer right
Tiffany, you said this 3 times already. Are you gonna shut up and let him talk or no? Hey y'all, it's your girl.
What are y'all thoughts? I'm like, my mind has just been blown. What are y'all thoughts? Michelle says the devil is busy. 80s baby, positive vibes. What are y'all thoughts? Like, she really went hard. Y'all don't got no thoughts. It's so much, y'all. That's all I can say is so much.
Night on OnlyFans with my Walmart prepaid debit card.
Wait till y'all see this. Y'all ready?
Initially, I had planned to spend a romantic night on OnlyFans with my Walmart prepaid debit card to look at some cheeks. Stop the show. I got a Facebook notification from the Jedediah Brown Facebook page, and the post goes as follows. Help me congratulate Dalton Mayor, super homewrecker Tiffany Henyard. Today is court for Kamal divorce. She maybe gets her man all to herself. Stop the show. Kamal, who is that? Now it's interesting, as I've been on Facebook, I've seen this name Kamal come up several times from people in the Dalton community, but I never really got a last name until the other day. So I started going through the comments to see who is this Kamal that they're talking about. Then I saw this message. How you get him is how you lose him. Kamal is there for the lifestyle and money perks for dating the mayor. Once she gets stripped and both have to get a regular job or in jail, let's see how the relationship goes then I saw this other comment. That's so sad for his wife and children. Then I saw this comment. She didn't wreck his home. He did that on his own. His wife has been planning her exit from this nightmare. But then I thought, this must mean something. Now, I didn't want to put a brother out there based off hearsay. So I started typing. Then I went to the Dalton Politics Facebook group. I typed in Kamal Wood's name, and voila, I saw this particular post. And the post comes from Chicago Southland Activities. It says, Kamal turn, dudes smell like bad liquor, weed, and Newports, looking like the bottom of a nasty ashtray. Is Tiff paying him to serve her semen? Probably sour as bad milk. Can I get a ooh sound effect? Now, before we go back to Kamal Woods, it seems the mayor has an affinity for guys who are pookies and ray-rays. In her first year of being elected, she got into a really big issue when she decided to hire Lavelle Redmond. Now, Lavelle Redmond, I believe, was like a housing inspector for the city of Dalton, where he would come into your home and inspect things. But there was one problem.
Frustration growing in South suburban Dalton after a Fox 32 investigation uncovers a registered child sex offender was recently put on the payroll.
Now some residents are calling for the mayor's resignation.
Dave Placco first broke the story and reports the pressure is building at Village Hall.
About 20 Dalton residents and a couple trustees protest outside Village Hall today, furious after a Fox 32 investigation found this registered child sex offender on the public payroll.
Oh yeah, he was a you-know-what offender. But wait a minute. This was confirmed by the former chief of staff of Dalton. And this is what she had to say.
First and foremost, the person that was arrested for the background of sexual offense. She told me that she didn't know. Keep in mind, I'm PR and I'm the chief of staff. I need to know the truth, because how can I help you if you don't tell me, of all people, the truth? She told me, she said, I didn't know he had a background. She said, I didn't know. I can't believe he did this to me. I didn't know he had a background. Back to the person. I saw it come up in the comment section on YouTube, so the next day I pulled him and I pulled Tiffany in the office. I said, y'all got 48 hours before this place is swarmed with media. I need to know what happened. She said, I didn't know. He looked at her kind of funny, but he didn't open his mouth. Later I found out not only she knew, she was his friend.
So, as it appears, she hired this guy knowing what was going on in his past, but because booty clapping sounds, he was clapping her cheeks, she decided to give him a job. So, Tiffany Henyard, she's like, look, didn't work out, you too hot for me, let me leave you alone. So, he got done. In comes Mr. Kamal Woods. Now, the problem with Kamal Woods is, I mean, he's a valuable guy, right? But he's married. And she didn't waste no time with taking Kamal Woods in as her new boo. And then, as he started booty clapping sounds, clapping the cheeks, he immediately became rewarded for being a part of the regime. Now again, I didn't want to put this information out there, but I had to have some proof. So I found this video from the Dalton Trustees YouTube page that says this.
We really wish we didn't have to make these videos, but when listening to board meetings and the mayor says something so ridiculous, it's almost impossible not to respond. It's the audacity for us. She is a walking, talking contradiction to herself. We have already proven she spends taxpayer dollars on whatever she wants. But now we will open up the next chapter in the book of Henyard. This is the clip that caught our attention.
The branch power. This is what they do. They nickel and dime trying to muscle the mayor into doing things for their friends and their cronies. I would never do that. So,
oh, sure. Tiffany would never do that. All right, residents, as we have already shown you, your tax dollars support Tiffany's extra fun lifestyle. But now we are ready to show you what else your tax dollars pay for. Actually, we should say who they pay for. We hear this question get asked a lot. Why are people still loyal to her? Well, she not only signs their paycheck, but she is the only reason they are getting that paycheck. She creates job security to all the criminals she employs. Past, present, and future criminals, that is. Hope you are ready to be amazed. We really don't like being mean. So please understand, we are just stating the facts when we point out illegal activity or gross misuse of taxpayer dollars. If someone proudly associates themselves with Tiffany, they can't be surprised when their wrongdoing gets revealed too. Let's dive in. First on the chopping block is Kamal Woods, Tiffany's married boyfriend, and doesn't look to be getting a divorce anytime soon since he and his wife just refinanced their mortgage on their South Holland home in March 2023.
I'm a single parent of Justice right here, and thank God for Kamal. Kamal has came into our life. He has been nothing but a loving father to my child, Justice, so I love him for that. And Kamal, thanks for all the support that you have given me. So I just want...
It's really none of our business, but a public figure who associates themselves with a married man should be careful what they speak on. Everyone has skeletons in their closet. So while Kamal may be a great father figure to Justice, we hope he cleared up the child support lien.
Wow. She's doing too much. In my opinion, I think she's ghetto. I think she's ghetto, in my opinion. Drop a 1 if y'all think she's ghetto. Drop a 2 if y'all think she's not. Drop a 3 if you're unsure.
He had against him from a previous relationship. Kamal receives a salary of $100,000 a year through the Thornton Township Youth Grant. We are sure this has since increased since the state decided to double the youth grant from $1 million to $2 million, even though Supervisor Henyard failed to do anything productive with the grant besides throw an embarrassing youth summit, which was nothing more than a concert for Tiffany to feel like a celebrity. Kamal is a business owner of a clothing store in Glenwood, Illinois. Of course, this business is not in good standing with the state. Also, one of the brands Kamal sells, possibly owns, just so happens to be one of the sponsors of the Just Ice basketball courts in Dolton. Look familiar? And that brings us to his car wash located in Dolton. It's no shock Kamal managed to get his business license renewed without any issue, unlike dozens of other businesses in town who Henyard has denied renewing licenses for. We bet a FOIA search will show he doesn't pay the $450 fee. It's also odd that we cannot find any business in the state this car wash is registered under. So what perks does this special crony of hers get? Well, we have heard on good authority Kamal doesn't pay a water bill. Since we cannot provide documentation, we will move to the next item. His business doesn't pay property taxes. It's actually listed as exempt. Now anyone who owns a home or business in Dolton knows how high property taxes are. The only time a business is exempt is when it's a not-for-profit, which is not the case for this car wash. These are public records for anyone who wants to check for themselves. Hey Kamal, you should really take care of that mechanic's lien on the property. And yet, he still managed to buy another property that wasn't even advertised as being for sale. We bet he knew someone. He purchased the old animal hospital on Lincoln Avenue, Dolton for $80,000, according to the Cook County Assessor's website. He put it up for sale shortly after with a description that we suspect was written by Kamal, but proofread by Tiffany. We won't waste your time. You can pause and read it if you would like. A year later, Kamal sold the property for $200,000. Which means he made $120,000 on the sale. Now this is where things start to include other cronies. Kamal sold the property to his car wash neighbor, a liquor store called the Emporium Beverage Depot, owned by TAC Investments. Now we are not saying the buyers of the property have done anything illegal in any way, but we are saying they did donate $8,000 to Tiffany Henyard's campaign fund just before she announced a new restaurant was going to be breaking ground at the location on Lincoln Avenue. She did this without board approval, of course. She was so excited she even made a video. Shocking, we know. Look, Kamal was even part of the groundbreaking.
People can talk about it, but it's gonna be damn about it. At the end of the day, you see me put a restaurant, event space, so we got a banquet, a party, an event, turn 60, families. Please come, contact Tim and Patrick. I'm gonna have my 75th at that place. I always supported them, I love them, I appreciate it, and y'all know the words, sing it with me. Ain't no stopping this time.
Oh boy.
I like her hustle. Let me say that. I like her hustle. I like her get down. But not for a mayor. Now, am I wrong? Y'all help me out. Y'all help me out. I say that she would be good if she wasn't the mayor. The moves that she's making a lot of moves. She's making hell of a moves, but not as a mayor. And I'm sure that there are moves that she could have been making. Like her hustle, I respect her hustle. I respect her hustle. And I respect her chess get down. I respect her chess playing get down. I respect her hustle, but just not as the mayor. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you under a microscope already. You already under a microscope. And what you have done is you made yourself hot. Michelle dropped the 1. You made yourself hot as a firecracker. You don't need all that attention coming to you. You under a microscope. So you've made yourself hot like a firecracker. You know what I mean? Michelle dropped the one. James says, wow, she's only 40 years. Yeah, she's 40 years old. She's 40 years old. Her affiliation, you come on, you. But maybe this is a part of the play. How do y'all feel about that? Do y'all think that this is a play? James dropped the one. Do y'all think that she's just running a play? I mean, you know, it's all about play running. Do y'all think she's running a play? Do y'all think she knows what she's doing? It makes you think, Positive Vibes. It really makes you think. One thing about the YouTube streets, if you've been in the YouTube streets long enough, the YouTube streets, if you pay attention, the YouTube streets will put you up on game. And if you already got game, the YouTube streets will sharpen up your game. You will learn a lot in these YouTube streets. You will learn a lot if you spend enough time on social media. Because social media is a whole new another part of the game. It's a whole new another level of the game. Social media is another planet, to be honest with you. Social media is another planet. Positive says you can see a play, Shank. Your head will reveal. I'm gonna stop talking to you, Positive Vibe. Because every time I give you some attention, you start roasting me. But you see the play. Like, she running the play. Like, she got to know what the outcome is going to be. She got to know. But see, when she running the play, why do most people run plays? Why do people run plays? It's two reasons why people run plays. One reason people run a play is to destroy somebody, to tear somebody down, to bring somebody down. That's one way. That's one reason why they run a play. I'm going to put this play in motion. I'm going to run this play, and I'm going to destroy what this person got. Or the other reason why they run a play is so they could benefit. And if she ain't benefiting off of this, I don't know what else to tell y'all. She might get some prison time behind this, but that come with the territory. Any and everybody that's in the game, they know jail, prison, they know that come with the territory. So they're prepared for county jail, central booking, penitentiary, state prison, fed time. It just depends how much time you get, and then it depends on how you do your time. If you got an opportunity to make millions and millions of dollars, and all you're looking at is 6 months, maybe a year or 2 years, and you got an opportunity to make millions and millions of dollars, and you'll be set for life. You know how many people have took that chance? The question is, would you take that chance? If you had an opportunity to make millions and millions of dollars, but the only repercussion is you might get 6 month fed time. You might get 2 years house arrest. Would you take that chance? I think she's running a play, y'all. I think the city mayor is running a play. I think she's running a play. And I think she's doing a hell of a job with this play running.
face it, guys. We are living in an evolving world. And when things evolve, we have to change. If we don't, we face the fate of being left behind. And who wants to be left behind in an evolving world? I know I don't. Things are changing all the time. AI is out there, technology is changing, electronics is changing. Even the way we even talk, some of our words and phrases. There's a new one out there like stand on business. Maybe it's always been around, but it's now popular. Things are evolving. But things are not just evolving in everyday life or on the internet. Things are also evolving in the political world. Back in the 60s or 70s, it was uncommon to see a black mayor. You had your one-in-a-million mayors like Harold Washington in Chicago, things like that. But for the most part, African Americans in politics were not very popular. But now, many African Americans are popular in politics. It's common, as white is on rice, but something else is occurring right before our eyes.
Now, I think if we was talking the 80s, and if we were talking the 90s, but it's like what my man said. Do y'all realize that the world is steady evolving? Sharon says what goes up comes down. Correct. Have y'all realized that the world is steady evolving, it's steady changing? And for some of us are stuck. Some of us are stuck. Some of us haven't adapted or adopted social media. Some of us are on social media, but some of us haven't adapted to it. Some of us are still using methods before social media. So then we wonder why we don't get certain results when we use these tactics. Is because you're using tactics in a world that no longer exists. Our world, the world before social media, it's there. It's like the dinosaurs. It's there, but it's buried. It's far, far away. So if you haven't adapted to this city girl mentality, and this is what I want to talk about. If you haven't adapted to the city girl mentality, and that's what is going on right in front of our eyes. And it's been going on for a long time now. The culture. We wonder why the females act the way that they act. We wonder why the men, we wonder why certain people act the way that they act. Because time moved on. Everything evolved. Let me play a little bit more from a man, because I'm not going to hold y'all that much longer. But let me play a little bit from a man. Shout out to O'Shea Jackson. Shout out to O'Shea Jackson.
That is the emergence of what is considered African-American female politicians. More of them are coming through the pipeline. And you just, as he stated, you got more black women that's coming through that pipeline. You got all these black women that are in politics now. And I mean, let's just be honest. Black women, they're going to sprinkle. They're going to, you already know, they're going to shake things up. It is what it is. You know, that's just nature. That's just her nature to shake things up. She got to do it her way. In my opinion, let her do it her way. That's why I said in the beginning, Michelle says, I hope she's banking all that money she's getting. That's fact. That's a fact. That's a fact, because she's already knee deep in it. So you better be banking that money. I'm just keeping it 100. She better be banking that money. Bank that money. You ran the play. You got the money. You got the popularity. You're doing big numbers. That's what social media is about. Big numbers, money, and popularity. But some of them don't even want the money. Most people on social media only want the numbers
and the popularity. I'd rather get the money. The hell with the numbers and the popularity. If the money and the popularity comes, I'll take that. But I'd rather have the money.
But some of them are referred to, as Pink Book Lessons would call it, city girl mayors. Now, obviously, a city girl takes a terminology from the rap group City Girls in Miami, in which a woman is independent, she's stylish, she has a great authentic personality, and she doesn't really take a whole lot of crap. In the black community, we like authentic personalities. We like people who want to be themselves. So we praise that, and it makes us want to vote for that person. But it hasn't always fared out so well, has it? A few years ago, a Detroit suburb called East Point, Michigan, wanted to give this young, beautiful lady a chance to be mayor. Her name was Monique Owen. It ended up in a catastrophe as Monique Owen got sent to jail for a few days for committing a COVID fraud. Then there's the queen of city girl mayors, Tiffany Henyard, a former senior trustee who weaseled her way into the mayor's position, then into the supervisor of Thornton Township, who has left Dalton broke. Her lavish spending sprees, plane trips have done so much to undermine this particular South suburban Chicago village. But then there's another lady. Drum roll, please. Her name is Latoya Cantrell. Now, she's a little bit more proper than Tiffany Henyard, although not by much. Both of them have a lot in common. Both of them like taking expensive trips on taxpayers' monies, and they don't like to apologize for when they do it.
A defiant New Orleans Mayor Latoya Cantrell is refusing to pay the city roughly $29,000 she charged this year to upgrade her city air travel to business and first class.
All expenses incurred doing business on behalf of the city of New Orleans will not be reimbursed to the city of New Orleans. One thing is clear, I do my job, and I will continue to do it with distinction, with dignity and integrity every step of the way. And so that's what I have to say on that.
So as we can see that Tiffany is not the only one. And this is what I'm saying, like, why is it every time a black woman or a black man get in position, why do they always run into these issues? It's always some kind of fraud. It's always some kind of scheme that these black mayors are involved in.
Continue to live life as it is. Both of them also like sleeping with people in their administration. Tiffany Henyard hired this guy, LaBelle Redmond, who was a registered offender. Booty clapper sounds. Then gave him a job. Then when they found out he had a job, she stopped dealing with him. She traded him in for Kamal Woods, who was a married man. Booty clapper sounds. Yeah, because she gets whatever she wants. And also, Latoya Cantrell does the same thing. Even though she was married to her husband, who's now passed away, she didn't mind taking somebody else's husband, Officer Vappy, and start booty clapper sounds. Now, the problem with this whole thing was Vappy was her security detail person in the New Orleans Police Department. But it was a conflict of interest, and they were going into hotels together. They were spending the night or spending long periods of time inside of her city apartment paid for by New Orleans while he was still on duty, which should have never happened. And then the mayor denied these charges.
The attorney for NOPD officer Jeffrey Vappy says his client never admitted to his wife that he had an affair with Mayor Latoya Cantrell. That allegation was made in a recent divorce filing and could lead to legal and ethical violations for both Vappy and the mayor. Natasha Robin has the story.
Now that the wife of NOPD officer Jeffrey Vabby filed a divorce petition alleging an inappropriate relationship between Mayor Cantrell and her husband, the next step will likely be determining if there's evidence to prove it.
All we have are allegations. So these allegations will need to be substantiated with evidence.
From there, Dr. Robert Collins says it's possible to also prove both the mayor and Vabby violated NOPD and city policies.
If a police officer were to have an inappropriate relationship with a supervisor, that would be an actual violation of NOPD policy, and there could be a sanction for that.
Collins says it's clear Mayor Cantrell was Vabby's supervisor.
In this situation, since the mayor requests these officers, since the mayor basically sets their hours, the mayor would be in a supervisory role.
The NOPD's policy is nepotism and employment conflicts.
Well, involvement in a romantic relationship with one of his assigned duties, professionalism, performance of duty, adherence to law, and honesty and truthfulness.
Raphael Goenechi of the Metropolitan Crime Commission says the potential violations for Vabby could be even more severe.
Okay, so potentially payroll fraud. If he was on city time, padding his payroll, if he was malfeasant in office, he wasn't performing his official assigned duties while he was with the mayor.
He points out that could mean potential criminal violations on state and possibly federal levels. Collins says the city policy isn't as clear as the NOPD's policy.
And despite being a hated mayor in the city of New Orleans, this has not stopped LaToya Cantrell, who has denied dealing with Officer Vabby in a sexual manner, from seeing him.
So I guess it's in their policies. Salute Biggest. Appreciate you for pulling up. Salute Biggest. I guess it's in these, policies that they can't have any kind of personal relationships, any kind of sexual relationships with people that are under them, their employees. I guess, it's all about professionalism. I will say that, and I get it. I do get it. When you look at the bigger picture, I do get it, because salute Londa, because we all know, when you in these relationships, when you fooling around, things can, salute Marie, things can turn for the worse. It's like you working on a job with somebody and you and your coworker, y'all doing y'all thing, y'all sexually involved. It could turn for the worse. So I get it, So I guess the accountability part will have to, sink in. If you become the mayor, if you take any government, state, or city positions, you got to be professional, because you don't know what's to come 6 months down the line, a year or 2 years down the line. And as we see with the Fannie Willis case, I'm sure when her and Nathan first started, they sexual relations, I'm sure that them prosecuting Donald Trump, I'm sure that was the last thing on any one of their minds. But as you could see, you just never know what tomorrow holds for you. So when you on these jobs, like I said, and even just a regular job, you got to move accordingly. You got to move carefully. But definitely as a mayor, I do believe that, Tiffany Henyard, I do think that she got a lot going on. That's just my opinion. She got a lot going on, a lot of unnecessary things going on. I will say that, and of course, y'all know how I feel about her playing chess, I'm all for that. Make them chess moves. Set yourself up for when you're no longer mayor. However, make sure you're saving some of that money. Come on. Make sure you putting some of that money in a sock. Make sure you putting some of that money in a couple socks. Make sure you burying that money. Make sure you doing right by them funds. Because now what's going to happen is you're going to be in front of some judges, not just one judge. You're going to be in front of a couple judges. And I do believe you're going to have to pay some kind of restitution. Because I do believe some of these charges is going to stick. I do believe some of these charges are going to stick. So now I have to ask you all, do you think Tiffany Henyard will last much longer? And also, do y'all think she's ghetto or not? I appreciate everybody for pulling up to this demonstration. I'll see everybody on the next demonstration. Remember, all my demonstrations will either be 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I don't send out the links no more. Remember, all my demonstrations will be 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I don't send out any more demonstrations. I don't send out the links no more to anybody. If you would like to support the channel, and also I will be doing some demonstrations coming up, whereas though I'll be dropping the link and I will have an open panel. However, I need everybody to understand this. The only people that will be able to join me on the panel, you will have to be a member. So you will have to purchase a membership to the channel. So that's another benefit that comes with purchasing a membership to the channel. You'll be able to have access to some demonstrations that's for members only. And then also, if you would like to join me on the panel, only members, only those that have memberships to this channel will be able to join me on the panel. So make sure you all get y'all memberships, because I will be doing some demonstrations coming up where I will have an open panel. And that means you could hit the link and join me on the panel, and you'll be able to speak. You'll be able to give your opinion. You'll be able to give your perspective on whatever demonstration that is. So once again, only members will be allowed to join me on the panel. How to purchase a membership to the channel is simple. Click on the $ symbol in the chat and purchase you a membership. If you would like to support the channel by sending a cash app, my cash donation, my cash app is $ERICMCINT. Once again, I appreciate all my moderators for holding it down. I appreciate my moderators who pull up at every demonstration. For those moderators that don't pull up at every demonstration, I understand. You're just not able to pull up at every demonstration. But I gotta shout out 80s Baby, The Full Life, Sagittarius, Adams for pulling up for every demonstration. That's for my moderators. Once again, I appreciate everybody for pulling up, and I'll see y'all on the next demonstration. Salute.